It's basically impossible to be completely objective about something you like, something you are attached to, so I'm not gonna be able to be fully objective about the Prisma Twin Gremlins. This is still my second favorite secondary weapon in Warframe. And today, my friends, it's time it gets the Galvanized treatment. As always, my name is Leyzar, and I got a couple of builds lined up. Something cheap, something affordable that most will be able to build, but fret not, we also got the Endgame setup with Galvanized Mods, Prime Mods, we got a Riven, we're going to be taking it to Steel Path, we're going to be talking about Warframe synergies, basically the works. That said though, please bear in mind that my builds and guides usually take a more new player friendly tone, simply because I want anybody watching to understand how the weapon functions and how it should be built, and the why behind it. So in case you're a veteran, and you already know most of this stuff, you can either skip ahead or have a bit of patience. And with that out of the way, let's jump into the Prisma Twin Gremlins. Let's begin by checking out how the weapon handles without any mods equipped. And for that, we're gonna do just a couple of our regular free shots. The Prisma Twin Gremlins are a pair of automatic secondary weapons which fire a projectile-based attack. Essentially, they fire these mini bolts or nails. Sadly, they have no model whatsoever, and they don't really appear anywhere, as you can see. All you can see is the shells, basically the casing of the ammo jumping out. And by the way, on the ground over there, you see the magazine of the weapon, because the more you fire, the more the weapon is emptied. That magazine slowly and surely goes down, like in other secondary weapons. And if you pop it, like so, boom. I know it's not very important, it's just the attention to detail, if you will. Now let's see that usability, shall we? When it comes to the accuracy, this is the standard 15-meter test. Most of the projectiles will be landing within the crosshair. The reload is lightning quick. Have a look. Boom. Done. And the magazine is huge at 70 with a fantastic fire rate, so you can't really complain about the usability. Well, there's one thing you can complain about outside of this being a projectile-based attack that means leading your targets. It's an ammo guzzler of sorts, so ammo issues may occur. You can drop a pad. It's pretty simple, they don't cost a whole lot to make. You can use carrier together with ammo case, or you can simply mod the weapon for some additional ammo. We'll talk more about that later. Let's check out the stats. Mod capacity 60 out of 60, and if your comes with only 30 out of 30, jump to actions, plug in that auto-king catalyst, double that mod capacity. Is it worth it? If you want a cool, quirky secondary weapon that bolts enemies to walls, definitely worth it. If you want the most powerful weapon in the game, blah blah yada yada schmackety wackety, no, essentially. But I fully recommend the weapon. I fully enjoy this secondary weapon, and you get it from Battle Tier, or you can trade it from the trade chat, as long as it hasn't been leveled at all. Now my weapon has 7 forma, a little bit overkill, but over the years I forma it for different builds, different tests, yada yada, etc. For the build I'm recommending you can get away something like 3 or 4 depending on the mods that you have. The primary polarity, as per usual, will be the Madurai polarity or the V polarity. Now, I would unlock the Weapon Excellence slot on this one. Best in slot from my humble point of view is going to be lethal momentum, 40% projectile flight speed. That means less leading of your targets. That means less projectile missed and more into your targets. I recommend this one. But if you have ammo issues, you can go with something like Pistol Ammo Mutashu. I think there's a prime version to this one, but honestly, it's hardly worth it. As for the MT Arcane slot, this one is a no-brainer. If you're going to be building your weapon for slash and viral, because yes, sadly, it is viable, then the obvious choice becomes Merciless. If not, if you want raw damage, like I like to build my weapons for raw damage, you go to Secondary Deadhead. And of course, if you're going to be using it in tandem with your melee, Secondary Dexterity is the way to go. Keep in mind that if you go Merciless, it also kind of solves some of that ammo issues, 100% ammo maximum, so do bear that one in mind. Now, accuracy 36.4, as you saw there, is pretty solid. Fire rate is good, magazine is good, noise alarming because it's a bolter, what do you expect? Reload of 0.9, that's just insane, man. 70 magazine capacity, 0.9 reload. Riven dispo, 4 out of 5, because this is not a hugely popular weapon. It may be one of my favorites, but obviously not the community's. Trigger automatic, and the damage, what do you got for damage? Critical chance, 23%. It's good. It's decent, it's alright, it's not fantastic, just the critical multiplier is a tad on the weird side, just slightly below average at 1.9x. Yes, we will build this one into crit. Impact puncture and slash, ew, yucky. You got, why? I mean, such a little bit of impact just to get those impact procs to move your target exactly when you don't need to. And no, on this weapon, going for something like, what's it called, hemorrhage is not the best way to go about it. Highest damage is going to be puncture, quickly followed by slash, and we're going to be able to manipulate this, the proc priority or the elemental weight, to kind of get the procs that we want. And for that, let's have a look at a standard build, shall we? Damage at Hornet Strike, multi-shot with Barrel Diffusion and Lethal Torrent, critical chance and critical damage through the use of Creeping of the Bullseye, 200% crit chance and minus 20% fire rate. The weapon can more than take it because of Lethal Torrent. You got Saxum Spittle on this one. Oh, wait, that's not the one. What gives? You got Carnage Stinger on this one. 90% slash and 60% status chance. I tested earlier and I forgot to switch back because I was trying to do the impact and then use Hemorrhage just so I can waste time. So with this one, slash is proc priority number 1. Don't get me wrong, its actual chance to proc is not all that high, but it's still the best way to go if you really must bloody have slash and vital on yet another weapon. And speaking of vital, Frostbite and Pistol Pestilence. Now, if you're a newer player coming into Warframe and you're watching this and you go like, damn, I don't have this and I don't have that, fret not, we got options to this, but first we're gonna showcase Vital Slash because for some reason Vital Slash is what most people want. And also if you're new to the game, 2 from the top Hornet Strike, you can leave 2 from the top, you don't need to max it all the way out. I know you don't have the Endo yet. Now Frostbite can be farmed from Spy Missions and Pistol Pestilence can be farmed from Corrupted Vor in the Void. All 60/60 Toxin mods from Corrupted Vor in the Void. If you can't be arsed, about 10 plat a piece from the PC trade chat. I do not know prices on console. So we're gonna test the weapon like so. We're gonna make sure that Chroma doesn't have anything that would skew the test results. So we're gonna go for an empty build. It's very easy to make a weapon seem more powerful than it is, presenting it as a synergy. We have more for that later. Level 120 Corrupted Heavy Goons. Now this is way past what a newer player would see, but what the? Yes, this is an issue. This is a bloody issue when you shoot headshots for some reasons in the simulacrum. The bodies of the existing enemies all clumped up on its head. I don't know, DE knows. Where was I? Oh yeah. Level 120 Corrupted Heavy Goons. So essentially what a slash build, the test is the following. Hit the target till about 50. See what I mean? 50%, then watch the slashes deal the damage. Look at that, 10 vital procs, 7, 11, whatever, a lot of slashes, a whole lot of damage, just almost killing the target. If you must have vital slash on this weapon, it is viable. Who am I not to say? Look. You can't really ask for more than that on a vital slash build. So the combination between vital and slash, once again, proving extremely potent. You're just gonna need the 90% slash, 60% a status chance mod to make this build work correctly. One last time. I hate you with a vengeance. There we go. That's the test. Now let's think about more options for this build. Let's say you're tired of Vital Slash. Yes, dude, I'm tired. I want to try something else. I want to try something a bit more hefty, if you know what I mean. Well, in that case, forget about Carnage Stinger. This is a mod you must have, by the way. You should farm it. And forget about Vital altogether. Let's switch to Corrosive. Now, we're gonna do the following. We're gonna put in electricity on this puppy. You got yourself Jolt. This one is only farmable from Battlefield the Void Trader from the PC trade chat. I'll be honest, I haven't checked prices in a while, but it used to be around 30 plat. It might be 50. It might even be 100, depending on when was the last time that Battle brought Jolt. Do you need it? Yes. Should you get it? Yes. Should you buy it? No. Wait for Battle. Subscribe for Battle updates. So we got Corrosive between Jolt and Pistol Pestilence. We got still one more mod slot left on the weapon, and let me show you Auger Pact. This is a mod that doesn't see a whole lot of use simply because it's not very powerful. It's 90% flat damage. But if you want a cheap mod, cheap to upgrade, cheap to obtain, easy to farm, this is the way to go. If you prefer even quicker reload, even though honestly at 0.9 it should be more than enough, you can go with Stunning Speed like so. 40% reload speed, bringing the reload down to 0.6 seconds. Honestly, it's so fast, and 30% status chance is not a bad idea. Do you prefer more crit? Are you a critical person? Then you can go with Hydraulic Crosshair. This one on headshot plus 145 critical chance when aiming for 9 seconds. And by the way, here's an option for Target Cracker because this one is weak. You can go with Sharpened Bullets. Problem is, it has a condition on it, the on-kill condition, and it's only 15% more. Target Cracker, from my experience, is more reliable, and the difference isn't all that huge. If there ever comes a choice for you, which to pick up first, Prime Pistol Gambit or Prime Target Cracker, go for Prime Target Cracker first. It has a bigger impact because we now have Creeping Bullseye for the weapon, which offers more crit than Prime Pistol Gambit, but at a cost of fire rate. And if you don't know how to farm corrupted mods such as Creeping Bullseye, well, click the cards right now. Final option. Okay, we're going. Stop yelling. Heat. 60/60 heat mod, pretty easy to obtain from the game once again. So now you got on the weapon Corrosive and Heat. So we're gonna test out the weapon like so. This is more of a brute strength approach. Yes, mama, of course, mama. Now, after that, we're gonna move on into a Riven setup. The same level 120 Corrupted Heavy Goon. As you can see, this one does a whole lot more damage on impact. That's the beauty of corrosive and heat, especially against corrupted heavy gunners which have ferrite armor on. The problem with this one, the damage over time is not there. I mean, don't get me wrong, you see that? You still apply a little bit of slash, the heat procs are taken away, but without that viral proc, So here's your first easy mode synergy. Panzer Vulpaphyla. That will add viral proc to your target. So basically you get the best of both worlds. Like that stupid song from Siley Midas. You guys know what I mean. So this is another option you can go again, and this pretty much concludes the new player portion of the guide, or new-ish or casual player portion. Galvanized diffusion instead of the normal version, and we're gonna be using galvanized shot to instead of hornet strike. Does it work on the Prisma Twin Gremlins? Because it's a projectile, but yes it does. Tested it, it does. So there you go. Prime pistol gambit and prime target cracker instead of the normal version. Now again, you can go for critical delay if you don't have prime pistol gambit, or if you want just a little bit more critical chance. Not a whole lot more, but you are sacrificing a chunk of fire rate. From my point of view, prime pistol gambit in this case over critical delay. But at this point, considering the difference, it's a preference thing. So do bear that one in mind. You also got a Riven in the option slot. The Riven is pretty simple. I got rolled it 90 times. That's the best I got, man. It's the best I got. Critical damage and multi-shot. Multi-shot's fantastic. Critical damage on this one is also good. But honestly, I really wanted more crit chance. I really did. I want to get to that guaranteed critical chance without using other mods. So, there you go. Lethal momentum in the XL slot, and of course, secondary dead hit, since this is not a slash build, a damage over time build. One more time, the corrupted heavy goons, so you can see the actual difference in performance. Now, this being a galvanized setup, it means we're gonna have to get 2, 3, 4 kills until it's in full swing, yes? So you can see the actual power of the weapon, because like this, it doesn't seem a whole lot more powerful, because I don't have flat damage. But now, that I do have flat damage, from the galvanized mod and from the arcane, mama what? Now that is absolutely freaking insane. Did I overstack? I overstacked targets. Not a problem, not a problem. One more time, because it does look quite beautiful. My friends, the weapon offers more power than you ever need for most content in Warframe, for like 99% of the content in Warframe. So I do highly recommend it, especially if you enjoy this style of gameplay. Look at that. Absolutely fantastic. Now you might say, sure dude, it works fine in a controlled environment on sitting still targets, but what about actual gameplay? Well, let's head on over to the Path of Steel. Welcome to the Void, my friends. Now let's see what the Prisma Twin Gremlins can do against the Corrupted. Steel Path Corrupted. So level 130, 40, something like that. Corrupt. Take a look. Basically burns through enemies without any issue whatsoever. Keep in mind, you might have ammo issues. If you do, drop a pad. You can use carrier. In this case, I am using the Panzer Vulpaphyla. Remember when I said that synergy? Yes. Basically, I have corrosive, I have heat, and I also have viral from the Panzer Vulpa. Now, the Panzer is not as reliable as I would like it to be, but there you go, my friends. Beggars can exactly be choosy, so do bear that one in mind. As for the performance of the weapon, from my point of view, this is more than enough to do your steel paths. Essentially everything in steel path except endurance runs, because there will come a point where the weapon simply falls off, especially considering that we build it for raw damage. Now, there's still one more thing that I do want to show you in the simulacrum. Frame war buffs with the ever so lovely Lady Mirage Prime in the outstanding purple fashion. Thank you so much once again to Matthew for this outstanding fashion. Now, when it comes to heavily armored targets, corrosive projection is definitely a worthwhile idea. 100% recommend, but you don't have to go into this one. If your build calls for whatever else aura, simply use the aura of your choosing. If the aura is that relevant to you, really, that much, then simply use coaction drift to increase its potency. Now, arcanes, these are a whole lot more impactful. Check out this one, Arcane Rage R5, farm from the third idol down on Cetus. You can also buy it from the trade chat. 45% boost to your critical chance for 12 seconds on damage, 21% chance. Bonus additive after. Applying simply on top of what you already have, and to your primary, secondary, and to your melee at the same time. So it's a huge buff. With this one, you go to guaranteed crit chance on the Prisma Twin Gremlins. As for your secondary arcane, honestly, this should be reserved, or your primary arcane should be reserved for your Warframe build. Your energize, your armor, your barrier, whatever else you guys prefer. But if you want more damage, Precision is the arcane, which is farmed again from the third idol down on Cetus. On headshot, 100% chance for 300% damage to pistols for 18 seconds. Now, my friends, considering that we do have some ammo issues on the Prisma Twin Gremlins, especially if you build a whole lot of fire rate, there is one arcane that you should be aware of, and it's called Pistolier. Check it out, my friends. Arcane Pistol also far from the first Eidolon down on Cetus on pistol headshot kill, so it works really well with raw damage builds like we showcased. A 60% chance for 102% ammo efficiency for 12 seconds. So your ammo issues are completely gone with this one for the most part, and the party never stops. Now, let's test it out on the Corrupted Heavy Goons, but when it comes to companion buffs, again, Panzerwolfpfeiler, not a bad idea. You can even use the Sentinel, but a Sentinel will not help you in the case of the Vigilante mods, since this is a secondary weapon, not a primary weapon, so do bear that one in mind. Now we're gonna spawn in more targets, higher level targets. The max I can spawn right now is 165. We're gonna be unpausing them so they can hit me and I can get my glorious buffs. And this will be entirely carnage. Make sure you go for a headshot, activate Mirage Zen power and her free ability for an absolutely outstanding Eclipse buff. If you want just raw force, there you go. And one more time for the best animation in Framework, our ever so lovely clone. Go for headshots. Make sure you get that buff, man. Make sure you get the buff so the party never stops, my friends. I just keep firing. There's nothing to kill. I just keep firing. I never stop. I don't stop. I still got the buff. Not stopping. Not stopping. See my point about Arcane Pistolier? It's an absolutely outstanding arcane and it solves the ammo issues. And it's a whole lot of fun to play. You get to feel like the Terminator and all whatnot one more time. So you make sure it wasn't a fluke. Rain death from above. As soon as you got the buff from Pistol, you just party all the time, and that's pretty much it, my friends. The Prisma Twin Gremlins is still an amazing secondary weapon, one that I highly recommend. Does it have its limitations? Of course it does have. It does have its negative. It's a projectile based attack. It consumes ammo like nobody's business, and it can be a little bit on the expensive side to build to its full potential, but that goes for most weapons in Warframe. And it's not ideal for something endurance runs, like if you want to fight level 6,000, 9,000, whatever thousand enemies, if you want to do such a thing, even though I don't see why you would, it's not the ideal weapon for that. As always, my name is Lazer. Thank you guys so much for watching. Like, favorite, share, and subscribe if you enjoy the content. If you got any sorts of feedback for me, I would love to read it in the comment section down below. Also in the comment section down below, if you guys got any particular feedback, or for example, want to suggest any type of content, I will be reading your comments. You can also find me on Twitch, Facebook, Twitter, all the usual places. But until next time, my friends, bye-bye. Oh, and if you want to support the content and help me keep making it, consider supporting us via Patreon. Link in the cards right now. Bye!